So I am going to be making some peach salsa today, and I like the kind of peach salsa that has tomatoes in it, but I also like to stay with that color of peach because I just think the color is just so beautiful. So I did not have a lot of yellow tomatoes in my garden this year, so I did can several last year, and so these are cans from last year, and look at the color in those cans. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to be using 3 quarts, which is equal to 12 cups, and 2, 4, 6, 7, and about 7 peaches. I don't know what that will equal to, but I'll try to make the ratio correct. So the first thing I'm going to do is start chopping up some peaches, and I'm going to use this with the larger openings to make the pieces just a little bit larger. See, that's the really small one. I like to use that one for the onions and for the peppers. See all that beautiful color in those peaches? That's kind of the color that these tomatoes mimic, which is awesome. I like to make the slices kind of thin. Sometimes you can just peel the skin off and don't even have to use the knife. So I'm going to measure this as I go. Long way to go. It's only 2 cups. Let's keep going. Oh my goodness, y'all, look at that. Let me get closer to the light. How delicious does that look? Doesn't that look amazing? Oh my goodness, and it smells so heavenly. I wish you all could smell that. So I have cut up 5 cups of peppers. These are sweet peppers. And I've just tried to kind of stay with the same color theme as the peaches. Wow, look at all that color. Isn't it beautiful? Now you're going to use your hot peppers to taste. I've got 3 fresnos and 2 sugar rush peach, and those are all hot peppers. So I like mine a little spicy, so I'm going to start off with that, let it heat up, taste it, and see if it needs any more. Remember to wear gloves when you cut hot peppers. I'm going to remove the seeds from mine because I don't want to get more heat than I have flavor. And sometimes the seeds can cause them to have so much heat that you can't really taste the flavor of the pepper. The other thing I really like about this is that it has a measuring cup measurements on the side here, and this is measuring just over 2 cups. I don't know how accurate it is. I've never tested its accuracy, but this does not have to be accurate anyway. Starting to smell so good. Three tablespoons of honey. Two tablespoons of lime juice. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of this garlic powder that I powdered down from some bulk garlic cloves I had bought at Sam's. Now the recipe calls for red pepper flakes, but I'm going to just use some fresh cracked black pepper. I like for the heat to come from the jalapenos and the fresnos and those kinds of things that I put in, and not from pepper flakes. It just doesn't flavor it as good. But I think fresh cracked black pepper flavors it really good. This is a great little device that I got on Amazon. I'll try to remember to put a link for it in the description box. It's the best thing since sliced bread. It takes the black peppercorns and grinds them up for you. It's battery operated. This is my second one. I wore the first one out. I had it for a couple of years. And because I like a lot of fresh cracked pepper, it wears my hand out trying to do a hand twist one, so I like this one a lot better. I'm going to do 1 cup of vinegar. I'm going to use a teaspoon of salt. This is the pink Himalayan. I'm going to use 1 heaping tablespoon of tomato paste. Here's what it's starting to look like. It's So I'm going to let that cook down just a little bit, get nice and soft, and then I'm going to take the immersion blender and cut up some of those bigger chunky pieces. That way I have a good smooth sauce, but also some chunks. Okay, so I get carried away and I forget to put every step on the video. So after I added all the ingredients, then I just cooked it down for about 10 minutes, turned the heat off, used the immersion blender and put it down in there just about 3 or 4 times, just enough to make it still chunky but yet smooth. So now it's not all chunks, it has some smoothness to it. Whenever you hold it up in a spoon or on a chip, then it's chunky. So Tamara's over here eating it right now. So how is it, Tamara?
It's really good.
Really good?
Yeah, I don't usually like salsa, but this is good.
Yeah, it's got some sweetness to it. Yeah, I see.
More than usual.
Already eat the whole bowl.
Yes.
It's really good.
It's very good.
Yes, thank you.
Very good. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Awesome. So now we're just going to jar it up and get it canned. Anything that tastes this good needs to be canned. I've got some hot jars here. Make sure that if you're adding a hot liquid or any kind of hot product to glass jars, your jars need to be hot as well. You'll need to leave about a 1/4 inch of head space at the top. I don't know how many jars I'm going to get out of this. We'll just keep going until we run out. Okay, so that's made about 8 jars. Get a paper towel or a clean cloth and wipe the rims of your jars. Some people use vinegar. I just use water. If I already have vinegar out, sometimes I'll use it, but most of the time I just use a wet cloth. Be careful handling them. They are still hot. Add your lids. I'm trying to add the ball lids with the ball jars. These are a cheaper version of cans, so I'm not sure if they'll do as well as the ball or not. We will soon find out. Add your rings. Don't over tighten. Okay, those are ready to go in the canner. You can water bath these. If you water bath them, make sure that you completely cover the jars by at least 1 inch, not more than 2. If you're going to use a pressure canner, you can pressure can them right at 12 psi on your dial. I'll show you. So you need to stay as close to 12 as you can on your pressure canner. So I'm going to be pressure canning these, and I will pressure can these for about 20 minutes. Now if you have hard water, and we have hard water here, then you can add a little bit of white vinegar to the water of your canner and it will keep it from leaving the hard water places on your jars. So I don't measure it, I just toss a little in. There's about 2 inches of water in the bottom. I think 2 quarts of water is, we'll do the same thing. We'll put 2 inches of water in your canner. And there we go. Lock your lid in place. Remove your weight. Turn your burner on high. When steam begins to escape from the steam valve here, you wait 10 minutes. Then you'll put your weight on. Then you'll let your pressure build to 12. Once the pressure builds to 12, then you will time it for 20 minutes. Okay, I forgot to film the next part. So whenever the steam had been coming out of my steam vent for 10 minutes, I went ahead and put the weight on. And in just a few seconds, the little pop top came up. And once that comes up, then the pressure begins to build in your pot. So I'll be watching, and I'll be waiting for my gauge to get up to the 12. And when it gets to the 12, then I'll turn the heat down, and I'll try to maintain that for 20 minutes. So you can see the temperature is starting to rise. It's just past 5 right now, so I'm keeping a close eye on it. And you don't start your time until it gets to the correct pressure. Okay, so after going down to medium-high, my dial is still a little higher than I want it to be. I want it to be a little closer to 12. So I'm going to go down a little bit more. I'm going to go down to the next setting next to the low, which I guess would be medium-low. Now the pressure is going down, but you do not want to take that lid off yet. You can still hear the steam coming out of this. Your pressurized button is still up. Do not take the lid off. You have to wait until your pressure is all the way down to 0. Then you can remove your weight, and then you'll be able to take the lid off. Okay, so the pressure is down. The button is down. That means there's no pressure in the pot. I can go ahead and take off my weighted gauge. Normally I would use the little gadget that I've got to pull out hot jars, but these jars are no longer hot. It is actually the next morning. How gorgeous that is. Isn't that beautiful? Now, if you have any contents on top of your jars, like that one has, go ahead and wipe that off now. Otherwise, you want to leave them sitting still for about 24 hours. And mine have already been sitting still for probably a good 12, 14. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe that off so it doesn't dry. Okay, after your jars have been sitting for about 24 hours, then it's time to take the rings off and wipe everything down. A lot of times food will spill over out of the lid during the processing. and you don't want that to cause it to go bad and break the seal. Okay, once your rings are off, you're going to want to test the integrity of the seal. So some people take a magnet and try to pull it off, but I usually just take the very tips of my fingers and hold it and give it a shake. But I have done this before and found a jar that was not sealed well and it fell, so be sure and support underneath when you check your jars. Just barely hold them up above whatever they're sitting on. Just make sure that you're holding the lid only and not the ribs of the rings. And that's it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed hanging out with me and making some peach salsa. It is so delicious. I hope that you all try this recipe. It is so good, so delicious. It's got just the perfect amount of spicy and sweet coming together to make a delicious salsa. And if you all have enjoyed the content, I hope that you would subscribe and like and share. That helps to support my channel. And I hope you'll be watching for the next thing. I'm going to be canning some green beans and also going to be canning some of the black strawberry cherry tomatoes. So thank you all for joining me. Have a great day. God bless you.